Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her infamous 22 number to...
This is one that you won't believe. The game's legend Sue Bird recently had what can only be characterized as an entire public breakdown. Additionally, it's a tale that almost no one anticipated it. This is the bombshell. According to reports, Caitlin Clark informed Team USA that she is totally, if they won't let her, she's done with them. Don her recognizable number 22 jersey. Moreover, Sue Bird's response to this demand has caused shockwaves throughout the whole world of basketball. As of right present, the Team USA's managing director is clambering, frantically attempting to manage the harm. However, the circumstances are losing control at a horrifying speed. This is not a little drama. This might be the only one. The greatest crisis facing women's basketball has encountered in contemporary history. Thus, prior to we delve deeply into Sue Bird's anxious response and get into the details of Caitlin's purported words behind those. I need you to tell me in private. The remarks, if you were in Caitlin's, would you really leave Team USA shoes over a number on a jersey? Since what's happening today is not insignificant. It has the capacity to totally transform the USA's whole future. Basketball like it has always been.
Because we ultimately know she was snubbed from the cover of Team USA. And not only is they snubbing her, the disrespect is continuing because it's looking like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her number. Now, this article has...
Okay, let's get right to it. The basketball team from the United States has successfully caused the greatest crisis in women's basketball. The most bizarre aspect is, they only did it to themselves. They made the incredible choice to compel, unquestionably, Caitlin Clark, the face of the whole sport, to give up her famous number now 22 for their training in December camp. Several accounts claim that are really near the circumstance. Caitlin's answer was as straightforward as it gains, essentially stating, if I'm unable to wear my number, then I won't be there. Sue Bird, the managing director of Team USA, who is purportedly going completely insane, attempting to determine how this problem became worse, so absurdly out of control. Let's be 100% transparent about. There is a basic issue here. This isn't simply a change in the number. This is being perceived by many as an obvious, deliberate, and to be honest, horrifying act of disdain for the Lone Star who brought millions upon millions by themselves. Millions of fresh perspectives on women's basketball. We are discussing the player whose name is possibly more than the sport itself right now. Being informed that her most identifiable symbol, her brand, must be abandoned. It's a perplexing action that has admirers, critics, and actually everyone is in between scratching their heads and genuinely wondering if Team USA is even somewhat aware of the Caitlin possesses generational skill. Clark.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a very creative person. I was born on January 22nd, so it's what I went with when I was about 5 years old.
This huge revelation came as everyone was preparing for Team USA's crucial training camp in the North Carolina, which was supposed to run between December 12th and December 14th. Consider the purpose of this camp to be. It was intended to be a huge commemoration of the sport, an exhibition of the world's greatest talent, to provide, with amazing stars, such as Guji Watkins, Paige Buckers, and numerous others. Rather, in the instant of it became the stage for. This is unheard of, and let's face it, utterly strange dispute that might potentially lead to the largest name in basketball that won't even take part. Reports started to appear, exposing this startling directive that would essentially deprive Clark of the quantity that has completely associated with her record-breaking, her time in college at Iowa and her incredibly strong WNBA performances. This decision's timing only makes it's even more astounding. It appears at the same moment her celebrity is skyrocketing on a worldwide level, which has no effect but intensify the indignation she feels. Extremely committed and expanding quickly. Army of backers. And you ought to believe it now. Those backers are overtaking social media, motivating Caitlin should refuse to back down, to make a concession on something so essential to her brand and her identity.
The Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. There is no argument to be made. There's no case to be made. Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number for any woman athlete in the...
Let's make. There is absolutely no error in this because it is at the heart of the whole problem. The number 22 for Caitlin Clark isn't only a haphazard string of numbers on a jersey. It is devoid of any trace of question the most well-known number in every sport for women, correct? Right now. Forget about it. This concludes the conversation. There is no real discussion to be had. Moreover, there isn't a good argument that can be made in opposition to this indisputable truth. From her astounding performances that defy reality at the University of Iowa all the way to her WNBA career that was explosive with the Indiana, the number 22 has turned into a fever. An essential component of her extremely identity. It's not just a figure. It's a light. A representation that fans instantly, immediately, regardless of whether they're seated in the nosebleed seats in venues that are completely sold out or observing their TVs from halfway around the globe, to the millions upon millions of individuals who observe everything she does. There are more than two numbers on a jersey. It is a legacy, created in real time. Her whole brand, the captivating story of her amazing travel and her entire narrative, are all inherently and potently connected to that number. It represents those bold long-range three-pointers that disrupt the internet, the nearly paranormal. She has a court vision, and the unwavering determination to succeed that has enthralled a big worldwide audience, extending far, far beyond the conventional basketball fan base.
We're number 17 at Team USA training camp. On December 24th, news broke that Caitlin Clark will be taking a part in the training, which that's what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, this right here this came out this came out on the 24th. So these are the numbers, man. Head on over to Twitter and check this out real quick. So this is what was released right here. It says Lauren Betts. Hold on, here's the ages. Where's the number? Here we go, right here. So these are the numbers. Caitlin Clark. Let me blow this all the way up, man. I want to blow this all the way up so y'all can see this. So as y'all can see here, man, how did Caitlin Clark number will be changed? So who's wearing 22? Or if you guys remember, Michael Jordan wore number 45 in the Olympics. Because it don't look like no one's wearing number 22.
Consider this for a moment. Nobody else of her caliber is donning the number 22. She has quite literally come to be associated with the number 22 in precisely the same manner that Michael Jordan will always be inextricably connected to the number 23 or the method Gretzky is within to insist that she alter that number at this moment in her. For many, a career feels like a purposeful and confusing effort to weaken that extraordinarily strong bond she's constructed with her admirers. It's a head-scratching action that leaves everyone is curious about what the motivation might be, unless, of course, the driving force is precisely what it seems to be: a power move, a method of taking command of a player who has grow larger than the company itself. And this is the section that makes Caitlin finds this even more annoying. Admirers. It's not even the first time that USA Basketball appears to underestimated her extraordinary impact on the game. Recall earlier this year, when she was noticeably, nearly, startlingly excluded from the Olympic roster? That obvious absence perplexed spectators everywhere, particularly when you see her as an indisputable global appeal as well as the enormous television viewership figures that she regularly command. This new trend of either ignoring or deliberately undermining her the status of rising stars keeps fueling strong conjecture that there is a deeper, more intricate agenda at work. In this place, there might be opposition within the organization's elite to completely accept the revolutionary, game-changing power that she so obviously represent. Due to the fact that when you examine the facts, none of this makes sense until you take into account the potential for Team USA to truly be intimidated by how strong Caitlin has evolved. What number, then, are they attempting to make her wear? According to official reports, Caitlin Clark would be donning the number 17 for the forthcoming training camp in the USA. 17, now. whereas it's merely a random number on its own. Its true importance is found in the fact that it is unquestionably not a number. This forced modification, particularly in light of the enormous brand awareness that she provides to the table, provokes a wide range of inquiries. You must wonder if this is intentional. The organization's endeavor to claim control to reveal who is, or is it merely a tone-deaf, out-of-touch choice that totally fails to understand the cultural influence of her well-known brand? Either the message being sent, the way you slice it, feels unsettlingly obvious to Clark. Your popularity is under our control. Doesn't treat you differently. Moreover, based on those reports, Caitlyn's essentially, the reply was, then I don't to be present. What makes this whole circumstances much more frustrating for her supporters is the startling discovery that nobody, and I really mean nobody, 1. During the USA basketball training camp, number 20 will be worn by the roster. It's not as if the number had already been claimed by a seasoned professional athlete or a highly esteemed celebrity with an unassailable claim to it. The quantity is only being abandoned, unutilized, and accessible. This one little element entirely changes the event. It moves from being a possible roster conflict or a basic logistical problem into what seems similar to an overt, indisputable act of felt exclusion from the most influential and well-liked player of her generation. If no one else is wearing, why in the world would you force the number? Will Caitlyn alter? The reasoning just is non-existent. The rationale fails. Entirely separate. And that's exactly why did Caitlyn purportedly draw her line in